very supportive parents to start with, and a family. I always was interested in issues like with politics and government and history, and so that kind of led me on this what eventually became a career in the law. And I kind of thought that I wanted to do this early on, and knowing that this is a field where you can really make a positive difference in the community, in the world, in just people's lives. One of the things something that's really kind of reinforced my decision and made me content with the path I chose is that I've seen the difference. Not only did I know going in, just what I've learned through schooling and my own experiences, that you can have a profound impact on others and helping others. I grew up in Arizona. I grew up in Bullhead City, Arizona. Actually, that's along the Colorado River, kind of where Arizona, Nevada, and California come together. And so after I graduated high school, I came to Tempe to go to ASU. And I've just stayed here ever since. Just the amount and scale of change, it's, I think, exciting. Just the growth, and in Phoenix too. A lot of my time was in Tempe and the East Valley, but as I stayed and started growing, I ventured into the Phoenix area, and I've seen the downtown area kind of blossom. I've seen the some of the old areas being revitalized. So I think that one of the things that I like about the Phoenix area is that, one, it attracts people from all over the place. It's a fast growing area, and so you get people from all over the country, sometimes all over the world. I think that it has a lot of potential because it's a young area, but it's also growing very fast. And I think it's been very cool being able to see that in my time here, having some compassion for others, empathy on what people might be going through, even if it's not something that I directly have experienced in my life, but knowing that I think sometimes people shut off if they can't relate to something. And I think that it's important to understand that just because it's not an experience that I may have had or someone else may have had, that it doesn't make it an illegitimate or invalid experience. It doesn't mean that, it's not something significant to that person in that moment that they're dealing with. Leadership often comes from, it doesn't have to, you have to be appointed to something or have be elected to something. Like, I know that people think leaders are like, oh, that's person elected as a leader. I think that doing what you want to do, what you love doing. So you get what you want, your degree in architecture, it's your passion. I think if you find out something's not your passion, it's never a bad thing to change. I think that leadership is, first, love what you're doing. If you love what you're doing, you're on the right track. And then doing a good job on it, making sure the quality of what you're doing speaks for itself. You may not always win, I think, every opportunity you want, but I think in time, the strong work you do will speak for itself. People will remember that. And I think that the other stuff falls. So one of my bosses, not even before I was in law school, used to say, and I used to manage this check cashing store because I had a lot of management experience. So they recruited me out of undergrad. He used to say, and it's the only thing that really stuck with me that I liked about that job. He said, focus on the small things, the big things will come. And so focus on this step by step, the things you need to take care of. Keep an eye on the big picture, I think, but the other stuff will come along in time. And I think also what served me well is not being afraid to admit you don't know something, not being afraid to acknowledge a mistake.